Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I just can't wait till next week, folks.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
Okay, Remington. Last week we had a very interesting time, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Well, we genuinely, it was fresh and different and interesting.
But we actually have to talk about real seasonals now.
See, it feels like the weird class where I'm like, we just did our exams and like, oh man, the Christmas break, it's right there, right? Like next week is when the 12 days begins, and I'm eager for that. But I'm like, but we apparently got some fucking shit to do. Why?
Look, man, last week was a very weird experimental choice for you. I had two options there that were just blatantly not what was currently airing. And then a third trap option because, you gotta lay the seeds for that.
Sure.
But, we didn't technically talk about one of the currently airing shows of the fall 2025 season. So, that's what we're going to do right now. I've picked out a show, and it's on a subject that I don't think we've ever talked about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, this might as well be the time. Tell me, Rem, what do you know about tokusatsu?
Oh man, love that guy.
Yeah? What's your favorite part about old tokusatsu?
Oh man, we go way back.
Yeah?
We go way back, me and him.
Yeah? How'd you meet?
All the way back in elementary.
You know what? That actually kind of makes some sense.
Yeah, see? Very all sorts of nostalgic memories, right? Man.
Yeah.
I should reach out again. It's been a while. It's been a minute.
Well, hey, maybe this is your chance. Since we're talking about it on the podcast. Good old tokusatsu. But no, Rem, you are actually very familiar with tokusatsu.
Oh.
As are most people in our generation.
Interesting.
Because, Rem, the most Americanized version of tokusatsu is the Power Rangers.
Oh, shit, the Power Rangers. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I'm familiar with the goddamn Power Rangers.
Of course you are, man. Like, it was quite literally one of, the staples of our childhood.
You know what once again, we unlocking a vague but vivid memory.
Mm-hmm.
As many nostalgic memories are. There was a Power Rangers game of some variety. And it was either really early PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1. And it was quite jank. And just exploring around the map and everything. It was weird. Was it one of the Dino ones? Maybe it was one of the Dino ones.
It's possible. There were three distinct Dino Rangers. The OG, then two additional ones later down the line, if I recall correctly. There have been a lot of Power Rangers back in the day.
But yeah, I used to enjoy the Power Rangers. I feel like I watched it more than I enjoyed it because I feel like I remember spending a lot of time watching Power Rangers, but I don't remember ever talking to anybody about Power Rangers or getting hyped about it. It was just it was a default always there though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I had so many Power Ranger toys as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So to clarify, tokusatsu it's not one-to-one, hey, tokusatsu is Power Rangers, but Power Rangers is very much a tokusatsu.
Oh, it's okay. Wait. Let me deduce, all right?
Okay.
Let me put on my little deduction cap.
All right.
Because in some media that satirizes Japanese media, it's common for them to satirize tokusatsu.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it, for most Westerners, it's just they're satirizing Power Rangers. But often, and I've even gotten the impression, though obviously never pursued it, of Yeah, but there's clearly like a little bit more that they're satirizing here. There's a few extra elements that aren't just Power Rangers that are sort of like a more general category. And so it's like that general category that is being satirized is tokusatsu, where it bombastic, colorful superhero / cyber ninja.
Yeah, so yeah, you're mostly correct there. So tokusatsu, like the literal translation is special filming, and it's just generally the Japanese genre of like film or TV programs that are like heavily use special effects and are over the top and tell a lot of science fiction, fantasy, horror, all that jazz. Like the OG Godzilla films are tokusatsu.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So now what I have in my mind, especially I think adding Godzilla to the mix help us out. And I'm weirdly kind of familiar with like the studio environments.
Yes.
That I would weirdly, my comparison for the studio environments is a little bit more akin to like a fucking Sesame Street or some shit, where sometimes you'll even have like a studio audience or element or anything, but even when you don't, you're just creating these often makeshift things. And I'm reminded of the clip when we talked about Godzilla, who knows when, but you like this clip of a girl going rawr, and I don't know if I need to provide any more context.
Yes, I can't help it if it's fucking adorable.
but that is the vibes we're talking about here.
Yes, it's very often features actors and over-the-top suits, whether they be monster suits or superhero suits or what have you.
It's people going ham with campy, silly effects and sets and etc.
Yeah, it is an over-the-top live-action filming style and genre, and it is very beloved. And generally speaking, it is usually these days like connected to things like Power Rangers, or as they're as they're called in Japan, Super Sentai.
Okay, yeah, I have heard of this, I think.
Yes, but Super Sentai became really popular Western side because they did this thing where they took all of the action scenes from the Japanese filming and then did all of the Americanized live action filming and redubbed the Japanese films with the American actors.
I just remember big sparks.
Lots of sparks. Oh yeah, because you can't show blood.
Yeah, no blood.
Because like the
crazy sparks.
Incredible violence, but just sparks and explosions and fireworks.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Because my God, could you imagine as a kid watching like a monster run up and slash the shit out of the Red Power Ranger?
Well, as long as he's sparking, then that's fine.
Exactly. And it's and that's kind of the little subsection of tokusatsu that we're going to focus on, right? The idea of like the heroes, the powered up, costumed, powerful guys with transformations. More specifically about Kamen Rider style of things. Have you heard of Kamen Rider, Rem?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Kamen Rider is kind of like the big tokusatsu franchise.
I don't know if like he's a bug or if like Bug Mask or Bug Face. I want to say Bug.
You're not wrong. Like a lot of the outfits are very Bug-esque.
He's Ant-Man.
Not quite. Not quite. Here's a gift from an old Kamen Rider thing. It is very Bug. It is very Bug.
Okay, yeah, Bug. Yes. I didn't remember any details. I remembered Bug.
Yes.
Like Power Rangers Bug, that's just kind of all that somehow, somewhere. Yeah. That's all that stuck with me. I don't know if I've ever actually seen anything of.
I don't think you would have because it's not super westernized.
Yeah,
right?
It's just at some point running into like secondary media or some shit.
Yeah, no. Kamen Rider quite literally translates to masked rider. So a lot of times they're superheroes who transform, ride motorcycles to stop villains and monsters from taking things over. Very similar to Power Rangers, whereas it's usually focused on individuals with individual unique Kamen Rider transformations. And I am look, man, the tokusatsu fans out there, especially the Kamen Rider fans out there, are gonna say that I am grossly simplifying things because
No, hold on a minute. You could say, okay, superhero. That's the equivalent, but that's oversimplifying a little. I think it's more accurate and even perhaps a little bit more timely. It's like Adam West Batman superhero.
Mm-hmm. A little bit. But the fun thing about Kamen Rider is, specifically, is a lot of times there's some moral gray area in why they fight. It's not as like pure as Super Sentai.
I would not have expected that.
Yeah. Like, Kamen Rider tends to focus more on the individual characters, from my understanding, is the idea. And like the complexities of, hey, we've got some power and responsibility to fight these things, but also fighting monsters kind of sucks sometimes. And like the franchise throughout the years has just tried to go through all kinds of variations on that with varying ranges of morality. You got your classic, like, over the top, I am the Kamen Rider and I'm here to save everybody because it's the right thing to do. But then you've got the Kamen Riders who are like borderline like anti-heroes in some of their regards, you know?
Yeah.
It is a wildly broad and nuanced franchise, as is tokusatsu as a whole. And because of that, it's kind of wild that we've never really talked about it to this point, because there have been several anime made based on like tokusatsu and Kamen Rider and all that jazz.
Okay, are we doing Kamen Rider?
Not exactly.
Okay, what the fuck are we doing?
Okay, so we're doing a currently airing anime.
Oh yeah, okay. I got lost in the sauce.
Yes. Well, hey, that was kind of the idea.
We launched a few decades back, and now we're back. We're back to now.
Yes. And for those who are like, hey, you didn't tell them about all these individual nuances. Like, hey, gang, I have to admit I'm a tourist when it comes to tokusatsu. So if you have any recommendations for me to consume, please send them my way. I'd be happy to really brush up on things. But so far, my experience with it is much like Remington, loose connections and occasional clips I've seen throughout the time periods. But today, Remington, we're going to be talking about a currently airing anime simply titled Tojima Tanzaboru wa Kamen Rider ni Naritai.
Hell yeah, brother.
Which the shortened translation of that is Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider.
It's a solid title, I'll be honest. That's pretty solid.
It's pretty good. It's pretty fucking good. So the fact that I am explaining tokusatsu and Kamen Rider to you right now for the first time is hilarious, because the anime we're talking about today is all about a dude who's his whole life he's always wanted to be a Kamen Rider, but now he's 40, so kind of hard to be a Kamen Rider when you're 40. But hey, you'll never would have guessed it. Weird shit started happening, and he's taken it as an opportunity to just take to the streets with a with like his childhood mask to be a Kamen Rider and deal with some gang activity that have
who's
arisen.
To say that you can't become a masked vigilante in middle age? All right,
it's true. You
can do it whenever. It's like Spider-Man. Oh, anybody could be under the mask. Who knows? Maybe Grandpa's under the mask. All right,
It's possible. But yeah, and that is very much the idea of this. Like, he wants to be a Kamen Rider. He's kind of on the verge of giving it up. Gets kidnapped by this gang, and suddenly him and other people are starting to actually try and be these Kamen Riders, even though they may or may not actually have superpowers.
Hell yeah. All right.
Some do, some don't.
It sounds like it has potential.
Yep, and I'm going to send you the poster just so you can have an idea of what we're getting into. Our main character is the one front and center.
And those are some people who really want to be bugs.
Right? Yeah, Kamen Rider has that super strong bug aesthetic.
Well, and we got a fucking ladybug in the back as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, they're all very bug-coded.
Yeah.
That is just like a Kamen Rider style, right? Like, if they're like bugs in general, you can probably... pretty safe bet it's Kamen Rider. If they're pretty neutral in terms of shape, it's probably Sentai, because like most Power Rangers look pretty similar, you have to admit.
Yeah, fair.
And then if it's neither of those things, it could be literally any number of things. Like Beetleborgs. You remember Beetleborgs, Rem?
No, I do not.
Yeah, no, neither do I. Except for in the massive crossover like Red Ranger episode I saw as a kid.
I was so ready for you to just be like, yeah, Beetleborgs is an anime we covered.
Oh, yeah, no. I've got to send you a picture of Beetleborgs. Like, I want to see, I want to see if this awakens anything in you at all, or if this is just a me thing that I vaguely remember. Here we go. Ba 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 ba. There we go.
It's hard for me to say whether I recognize it or not because it is just 80% of Power Rangers villains.
Yep.
Just colorful and robotic.
Yep.
So
but I believe these are the heroes in this case. So.
Oh, okay. I don't think I remember them specifically.
Yeah, no, like I only remember them from like a crossover thing, but like you can see here that they're the same group owns them. So
yeah.
Yeah, it is. There's a like I cannot emphasize just sheer quantity of tokusatsu stuff out there. It is fucking massive and fascinating, and I really need to consume more. But I'm busy watching a lot of anime, so that's tricky. But yeah, that's basically the premise. It's an action show with a grown man becoming a Kamen Rider through sheer force of will, essentially. And then some supernatural stuff happens along the way, as you'd expect.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. That's the seasonal we're gonna watch for now, and let's go straight into it. Let's go watch some episodes of Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider.
Hey y'all, we are coming up on the 12 days of April Fools, and that also means it is time for our yearly charity drive sponsored by our friend Farmer Weeb. Rather than selecting a specific anime, like our patrons have done in the past, they've crowdsourced a list of options in one of the patron channels on our Discord, from Midori Days to Bakemonogatari. They will all be plugged into the almighty wheel to determine Remington's fate. For each patron, from each tier, not just those that get read during our outro, that changes their name to include the word wheel, Farmer Weeb will be donating $3 to the Trevor Project. But that's not all. This year, there's a bonus challenge. If Remington can get 10 answers in a row correct for a horror movie, high or lower, with 3 attempts allowed, Farmer Weeb will up his donation to $5 per patron. Is Remington better at predicting horror movie scores than anime ones? We'll find out. And now, back to the show.
And I am back after watching the first 3 episodes of Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. Now I know what you're thinking, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, wait a minute. Why did Shaun not welcome us back? That's a great question. That's a great question. And, you know, there's some rumors that he's deathly ill. Along with our editor, I want to amend those concerns. Don't worry, it is not the case that my co-host Shaun is deathly ill. Rather, the reason is that Zootopia 2 just released. And so he's been watching that nonstop. I think he's up to his 12th or 13th watch of it. He's not left the theaters. They tell him to go home, and he refuses. And then we tell him, "Hey, Shaun, you should go home. We have obligations." And he still refuses. That's right. He is just that damn horny for Judy Hopps. It's just me. It's just me. I'm all alone. It's a weird dynamic. If I'm gonna be honest with you. And especially, here's the thing. It's like, I don't want to talk about anime, especially without Shaun. Like, why would I talk about anime without Shaun? Like, but I understand I have obligations as well. So I will, even though everything within me is tempted to talk about anything else and just be like, well, shame on you, Shaun. You weren't here, so nobody stopped me from rambling or doing whatever the fuck I wanted. Nobody was here to constrain me. But alas, that means that I must constrain myself, and I must actually talk about goddamn anime. So let's step into Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. First of all, I have to imagine that this might be a slightly more enjoyable experience if you are more familiar with Kamen Rider. Don't get me wrong, I think that they do a pretty decent job of, you get the details you need to know, right? It's not that I'm in the dark, it's not that I'm completely clueless. They do a good job of giving you the rundown, and it's not too complicated from the get-go, but I do think that there's likely details and miscellaneous that you would appreciate more if you had some knowledge or nostalgia for Kamen Rider bullshit, right? Which, for obvious reasons, I do not. Nonetheless, that's fine. It can still be a decent show. We open up with a guy, Tojima. He's punching a big tree. He's training. He wants to be a Kamen Rider. We get some backstory. In the backstory, we see him when he was young, wants to be a Kamen Rider. We see him as a teenager. His crush confesses to him, but it was just a prank. Some delinquents were pranking him with a false confession of love, and the girl is sad, so she later apologizes, but then other delinquents show up, and he defeats them, and then more show up, and he defeats them, but then the girl was scared of Tojima and runs away. It's kind of weird, kind of strange. There's also, we gotta talk a little bit about the art style. The art style, it's mostly fine, and it's not that it's wildly stylized. It's got its own look, though. It's got its own look, and I'm not a huge fan of it. It's just like a little bit uncanny and a little bit more detailed but less expressive, you know? They're doing a little more work to get a little less effect. And I don't think that I like that on balance. The worst part and the most stylized element is the blush. Now that's going to sound weird. How is that the focal point? But it is. It really, really is. Every character, anytime they're shy, embarrassed, or emotional or horny, which is a lot, they fall into one of those categories a lot, they will have this ugly, bright red, for some reason, shiny blush, and it never looks good, and it's also not, like, interesting enough to justify being ugly, you know what I mean? Like, some things are like, oh, that's ugly, but in a deliberate and interesting, compelling way. This is just like, oh, that just kind of looks bad. But nonetheless, all right, we get the general idea of Tojima here. He wants to be a Kamen Rider, has wanted it since he's a kid, and now we cut back to the modern day. He's going to get an opportunity because, as it turns out, but before he gets the opportunity, he does fight a bear. He does puncture a bear's eyeball, which seems a little extreme, if I'm being honest. I feel like he could have just left. Like the bear wanted to attack him too, but don't get me wrong, but it is just a bear. And if you can escape, which I'm confident Tojima could do, maybe don't remove the bear's eyeball. Maybe that's a little bit much. Maybe that's a step too far. Maybe that's unnecessary. But then after that, turns out that there's some people pretending to be Shocker, and that's like the enemy of Kamen Rider. The enemies. It's an organization. It's Hydra, right? They do a straight up Sig Heil. Also, the people being Shocker. One sec. Is Shocker just Nazis? Now, I would normally ask Shaun, but instead, I have to go to Google. I'm Googling things about anime to fill in Shaun's role. I don't want to ruin my Google search this way, but I'm doing it for the people. All right? All right. Shocker Nazis. Okay, they are straight up Nazis. They are deliberately straight up Nazis. That is the point, it looks like. Yes. They're basically just an offshoot of Nazis, and that was the goal, and that was the intention. So very similar to Hydra, then. So you got these people pretending to be Shocker, just so they can rob, I guess. And they're not even really pretending. They just have face masks. They just have, like, ski masks on them. Which I also just feel like is like a stereotypical robber thing. That's not necessarily a Shocker thing, but that's fine. And we sort of get to an interesting couple of themes here that I hope will be explored more, but thus far, it seems like it's more me reading into it than the show giving a shit. But both the heroes and the baddies, right? With Tojima, we'll get to another character later on, and these fake shocker group. There's an interesting themes of like how media affects us, can form our self-image, our goals, our desires, who we aspire and try to be. And then furthermore, when putting on these masks, whether it be the Kamen Rider mask for Tojima or whether it be the ski masks for Fake Shocker, there's a certain like performativity, masking up, and how that affects behavior, the actions you can take, right? Feeling more comfortable doing certain behaviors behind a mask or taking on certain persona. And I think these are interesting things to explore. I don't know if they'll be meaningfully explored in this, but they're kind of neat. They're kind of neat. So you got these robbers, and of course Tojima hears about them, and he goes to a festival, and the robbers show up. So he buys a Kamen Rider mask, and he kicks their ass, and he saves the day. They all run away. And then in the sort of epilogue of the episode, we see a woman who saw the news about this. She's frustrated because she wanted to kick Shocker ass, wanted to be the first one to do it, and now this guy, just wearing a mask, did it before her, right? First episode, it's fine. It introduces some interesting ingredients, right? But it could still go either way. It could get better, it could get worse. And at the end of the first episode, undetermined. Episode 2, we open up with literature class. We see the woman who was frustrated at the end of episode 1. She's a teacher. Her nerdy student is gawking at her ass. He's fantasizing about her. Oh God. Oh no. Jesus Christ. She's training, and we see a bunch of jiggle physics. Now here's the thing, all right? Her thing, let's see, her name is Yuriko. I'll probably call her Tackle more often than not. That's the Kamen Rider equivalent persona she takes on. So Tackle, her thing is boob. And that's about it. That's about it. She has backstory. I guess her two-pronged thing, right? She wants to be a Kamen Rider, specifically Tackle, and also boob. And the show is really like, hey, are you aware that she has titty? And yes, we are aware, because that is the thing it emphasizes by far the most about her. We can't not be aware. And then it's like, no, but are you aware? And it's like, yes, I am. And it's like, wow, look at those things. And I'm like, come on now. There's gotta be more. There's gotta be more to it. And here's we enter sort of an unfortunate reality of this show. This show, it has one main joke, right? And it's people taking the Kamen Rider verse very seriously. And they don't really shake up that joke a lot, at least not in the first 3 episodes I've seen. Insert Sean Rollins. Oh, well, later on, blah blah blah. I don't give a shit about later on. He told me to watch 3 episodes. I watched 3 episodes. All right. I am doing as I was asked, and I'm reviewing the 3 episodes. But so far, it's just the same joke told the same way a bunch, and that's, wow, isn't it crazy that these normal folks are so into Kamen Rider? And there's like a little bit humor to be mined there. It's like sort of there's an absurdity there that can be amusing, and it kind of is in the first episode, but then they do just tell the same joke in nearly the same way again and again and again with almost every character they introduce. And it's just a bit one note. And then all the other humor sort of surrounding that, right, is cliche and bad, such as, whoa, look, oh, she's taking off her clothes now. Oh my goodness. Right, it's just bland, horny humor that is, if it's meant to be humor, it's insanely lazy. And in reality, it's just meant to be lazy fan service. It's just meant to appeal in that way. And that's just not interesting narratively. And so the show, it's not doing a lot of interesting stuff stylistically. With I will say, one thing the show does well, sort of stylistically, the music is solid. It may be that it's using music either directly or inspired by the Kamen Rider show, right? Which I think would be a solid decision, but it is much more dynamic and interesting than a lot of other anime out there. It's more varied, more deliberate, more distinct, and I can appreciate that at least it has an identity on the soundtrack, even though I don't know how much of an identity it has otherwise. Nonetheless, so continuing on with Tackle, we get her backstory. She was bullied. Her dad was super into Kamen Rider. She becomes obsessed with Kamen Rider, specifically a character Tackle, who's a ladybug girl, basically, right? And apparently Tackle in the show at some point dies, sacrifices herself for the greater good, and that traumatized her. And so now she's like, no, I want to be the living Tackle. I don't know, sure. And then another shocker robbery. This time, both we get both Rider and Tackle to step in and stop them, right? Both Tojima and I already forgot her name. Don't worry about it. I don't have Shaun to remind me of the names. I'm sorry. They're in my notes somewhere. But if I'm gonna level with you, I don't care enough about her name. If I'm gonna be honest with you, the people, I just don't give a shit enough to double check and go through the notes to see. So they stop some robbers and whatnot. And to do so, she's offended that like Tojima is just using a mask where she has a full like cosplay outfit, of which she has to strip her normal clothes each and every time. And of course they're like, hey, look at these shots of her in her underwear. And you can just hear, you can see the creator like looking at you and being like, it was just, if you want hentai, just go look at hentai. Stop pretending that it's humor, because if it were humor, it's just the worst humor, the laziest humor, the least funny humor. Nobody's laughing at these scenes. You get like her student confesses his love to her. I hate that fucking character. I hate that dynamic. Just all that's bad. All that's fucking trash. They save the day. Then there's another robbery. Same crew. At the very end, but then a bystander steps in, and it turns out this bystander is a part of the real shocker. Oh my god! And that's what we get into episode 3. The real shocker beats the robbers and whatnot. Rider and Tackle show up. They are able to defeat Shocker by doing some combo moves. And then an actual demon monster man shows up. And it's like, okay, in Kamen Rider, from what I gathered, there are monsters, monster people, or something. And this is a real one. So there's actual shit going on, which is kind of interesting. Very weird for it to happen the first, like, 20% into an episode. Feels like something you'd end an episode with. They ended it with the reveal of a real shocker on the last one, but then that wasn't actually the important part. The important part was the fucking demon man. The real shocker, it feels like there could have been a little bit more to that. Maybe you reveal a real shocker, and then you don't reveal the real demon man until perhaps the end of episode 3, right? Or something like that. It's just a little bit rushed, but nonetheless, the demon shows up, turns the shocker to ooze, and leaves. I imagine that's once again some Kamen Rider bullshit going on. I'm inferring that it's Kamen Rider ooze. Let's see, Kamen Rider ooze. Just a few quick Google searches. All right, the thing that immediately popped up was Kamen Rider ooh. Just Kamen Rider 3 O's, which I don't think that's what I'm looking for. I'll just do Kamen Rider monster. Yeah, just a category. There's just a bunch of monsters. Sure. So yeah, it's just kind of like a weird reveal, and then afterwards, the demon kind of just leaves, and so Rider and Tackle just go to a diner and chat about what happened. it's very weird pacing. It's very weird pacing. Because it's like, oh, okay, we're opening the episode, immediately ending the sort of cliffhanger, adding another detail saying, don't worry about it, immediately resolving a fight from the cliffhanger, and then just chilling at a diner where the manager tells their life story, which just amounts to Shocker is real, and that takes up way too much time, and I don't care. And we just saw Shocker. So for a character to be like, yeah, my thing is, I think Shocker is real. Here's my too long story about Shocker being real. It's like, yeah, we know. we just saw a member of Shocker. Like, we didn't need all of this. We didn't need it to be like, yes, in my pappy's garden, beautiful garden, but the neighbors didn't like the garden, you see. So eventually they sent some men to destroy the garden, but then my pappy, it's not really the pappy, I can't remember the relationship there. But my pappy, it turns out he was a Shocker, and he burned everything down instead. what are we doing? What's the point? What's the point of any of this? And none of it is particularly compelling. The writing isn't impressive or interesting or nuanced or pushing things forward. It's all very generic, and that's just not helping. The premise is a solid one, but the execution, it just ends up being the same joke again and again and again. And they keep introducing a bunch of more shit instead of developing what they have. And that's a problem that I have with a lot of anime, right? We get this formulaic thing where the first 3 to 8 episodes of a lot of anime are just, hey, let's get the gang together. Like, you'll see them all in the intro. You'll see a bunch of characters in the intro, and now it's like, all right, for the first 8 episodes, we just need to explain the opening credits. For the first 8 episodes, we just need to get you up to speed to what you see in the opening credits. And now here's the thing, all right? I'm about to blow some manga and anime creators' minds. You can just start with them all together, baby. Good old D&D campaign, you're already a group. We don't need to spend all the time of you guys getting together. Sometimes that can be interesting, but if it's not interesting, and let me level with you, most times it is not interesting, just skip all that shit, all right? This story, it can start out with maybe one episode of sort of setup and prep, but then that's sort of like a flashback, but then you cut, and shit's weird, Shocker is here, aw fuck. Just start where shit's interesting already, and start where they're together, and stop with all the unnecessary backstory. It's like, I'll get it, I'll understand. I've seen the opening credits. I know the relevant characters in play. And usually I know their deal because it's very simple and straightforward. We're not dealing with nuanced, deep characters who require these explanations that don't say a lot. It turns out that the diner manager's girlfriend, she's very jealous, so she goes to the teacher because she doesn't like the manager talking to other girls, goes to the teacher, goes to tackle, and is like, stop talking to my boyfriend. I love when he talks so much about Shocker. I'm really into it. But actually, the secret twist is I am Shocker. Isn't that crazy? And she does a little transformation. And I don't really care. It feels a little bad that Shaun isn't here to defend this show, because it feels like the kind of thing he would want to defend, right? But yeah, I don't care. You know what I do care about, right? The sort of ending credits bit. It's this lovely, I think it gives the impression of stop motion, but I imagine that it's actually CGI. It's a little pseudo stop motion, or maybe it's actual stop motion, but I don't think it is. You know what? Why not? Let's fucking Google. All right, I couldn't find a quick answer. Don't worry about it. But at the end credits have this training montage of a little piece of takoyaki, right? With just a Japanese street food. Little, let's see, what the fuck are they? The grilled octopus balls. All right, grilled octopus balls So there's a little takoyaki ball, and it goes through a little training montage, and it's adorable and wildly charming, and the takoyaki wants to be a Kamen Rider, and I'm gonna level with you, this is a better show. The end credits would make such a better show. You take the basic idea of this, of Tojima Wants to be a Kamen Rider, right? But instead of Tojima, it's just a ball of takoyaki, and we mix it with a little bit of like Gudetama elements, right? Are you guys starting to see the vision? And once again, we see a little bit of a training montage. We see it fight mundane things. Maybe it just thinks that different entities, different mundane entities are monsters or Goliaths it must defeat. Maybe the ultimate thing it needs to defeat is the humans trying to eat it. And we culminate in a heroic takoyaki ball versus a whole ass human fight where the human is more or less a kaiju just in the kitchen. Make it super cinematic. This could be dope, even if it ends up being short form, right? Which I know a bunch of weeps hate for no reason. That would be so good and interesting, and it would have a hook, and it'd be unique, and it'd be compelling. You have so much more to work with. How dare they create such a lackluster, mundane fucking show, but then the end credits take a similar concept, but then be like, oh, what if it was actually unique and interesting and different? And it's like, that's what I want! I want the takoyaki to want to be a Kamen Rider, dude! That's what I want! But life is unfair. Unfortunately, that's not what we get. Instead, we get the show, which, just sort of lackluster. I guess I should do my due diligence, and I should see if there's anything like notable about this. I should try to understand why Shaun chose this, right? Because maybe it's just that it's new, or maybe there's some like controversy, or maybe there's been some crazy recommendations for it. Let me just take a moment to do research. Let me just I'm Shaun Reynolds. All right, yeah, there we go. I'm in the mindset. Let me just. All right, I'm gonna level with you. I'm back from my Shaun Rollins research montage. Here's what I found. Not much. Was this just was this just an easy phoned in newer anime episode for him? Because I'm in love with it. We did not get a lot of recommendations. We were not flooded with recommendations, may I say. So I suspect that I don't want to talk ill of the horny, but I think that Shaun may have just been like, this will be a fun excuse to talk about Kamen Rider. It's a different kind of trope, and it's a little bit more current. Sure, why the fuck not? And so it's less about what the show is and more just about like what he could have talked about. But then he's not even here, so he can't talk about more Kamen Rider or Power Rangers or any of that bullshit. But maybe if he was here, I would have diverged and gone on a rant more about the Power Rangers video game I used to play. Still can't remember which one. I can remember like a level so clearly in 3D space, but I can't remember shit about the actual what the fuck it was. But he's not here. So I don't even know. Is this an okay episode? Is this fine? Is this acceptable? I don't know. Look, I'm just here. I'm just a guy. I'm just a fella. I'm just a fella doing his best without the resident weeb to keep things on rails. Long story short, this concept has a lot of potential, but it doesn't do enough with it. It's very one note with the characters, with the jokes. It often phones it in, and it could be interesting, but it's just not doing enough to be interesting. It's not well written enough. It's not creative enough. If you gave me the takoyaki Wants to be a Kamen Rider, baby, I'd be all in, all right? I'd be so sold. But that's not what we got here. So would you want to watch more? Is bullshit with me? No, I wouldn't. But I guess I need to guess the rating. All right. Oh fuck. Normally I'm able to like deduce a couple of clues from what Shaun has said. I guess I add a brief research montage that I can try to glean some clues from. But I was mostly just seeing if there were any notable headlines or if anybody had recommended it to us, and I did not get a lot from that. I guess the lack thereof, I don't know, maybe people think it's kind of mid, and then I think it's kind of bad. How much do I let that influence ratings? I don't know. I'm like, if it's just kind of middle of the road, then I would be leaning towards a 7.3 that the weebs would give it. But then they always overrate things, so 7.41. 7.41, let's see what it actually is. Okay, the actual, with only 6,000. Ain't nobody seen this show, Shaun! What did you... Nobody's watching this fucking show! I've been left out to dry on an episode nobody's gonna fucking listen to. There's no one even here. I've been talking. Not only have I been talking to myself in the sense that my co-host is not here, bitch, I've been talking to myself because ain't nobody clicking on this episode. With only 6,000 people who have rated it, it has a 7.67, which is way too high. Maybe it gets amazing later on. Yeah, sure, leave all the regular comments. I watched 3 episodes. I did as I was told, all right? What a fucking mess. What a fucking mess of an episode. Oh, God. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. All right, so this more than makes up for the time I committed to the bit and abandoned him after a rating was read. I don't remember which episode that was, but man, that was insane. Yeah, it's just, let's see what some reviews say, I guess. And anything notable? One of the most unique anime to come out this season, in premise, I guess, but it needs more than just the premise. You need to do something with the premise. There's some Kamen Rider stans. Like, I guess, if you're a Kamen Rider stan, then yeah, sure. I guess you'll fucking love it. A visual feast for the eyes? Really? This is a visual feast for the eyes? I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out, dude. It's not compelling, and like visually, there are occasional moments where it looks pretty good, but like not incredible. We're not like talking about fucking Ghibli or Your Name. We're not like, yeah, you know, some beautiful shows, Spirited Away, Your Name, Tojima Wants to be a Kamen Rider. Like, that's not the conversation we're having here. It's the visual feast for the eyes. I'm losing it. I'm fucking losing it. This is why I can't be allowed to do the weeby side of things, because genuinely it puts me in a state that makes it difficult to continue on. Anyway, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to watch any more of this, Shaun. I think I'm good. I think I'm all right. At most, maybe I'm vaguely curious as to if it goes anywhere interesting, because there's some possible ways with introducing a real demon, but like, is it just as simple? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem, I don't have faith that it'll go in a really interesting direction, but I could see something with this concept going in an interesting direction, you know? I just don't think that'll be the show. And now to chill out for the Patreon, baby. And hey, guys, next week, we begin the 12 days of April Fools. We're back at it again for another year, which means for just $5, you can get access to 11 bonus episodes. Of course, the first day of April Fools, that'll be coming out next week, and that'll be available to all right? To absolutely everybody. But then after that, there's going to be 11 Patreon exclusive episodes for just $5. For that $5, you don't just get this year's 12 days, yet last year's. You get the year before. We have so much 12 days. We have so much April Fool's content, full bonus episodes. And man, this year is some unhinged bullshit, all right? I can confidently say that there are peaks and valleys that you've never seen before with the 12 days, all right? And that's saying something. It's wild, easily the most ambitious that one we've done yet. I've put a lot of time into it. I'm excited. You should get hyped for next week. Twitch.tv/anime out of context, where we stream. Shaun has been pretty consistent. Dylan will stream on Mondays and be spooky sometimes. And right now they're both dead, but I mean Dylan's dead. Shaun is horny. Shaun's trapped in Zootopia. Which is kind of death. I'm just all alone. I'm just laughing at my own jokes. That's echo. I'm in the void. And if that's not enough, we have all sorts of cool patron bullshit rewards, including me reading out some of our lovely patrons' names. So let's see who we got this week. As always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitches and magical girls, bland bitch protagonists and magical girls who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus. And on that list, we have the Hot Wheels Wheel of Power is my waifu. Is that from the games, or is that from the show/movies? Oh man, I'm getting a flashback just from, one second, I have to, Hot Wheels Wheel of Power accelerators. Yeah. Oh man, that's a weird ass flashback. Mine hack the wheel. And also put if you're a patron, if you want to support Trevor Project, one of our lovely patrons is going to be doing that to hijack our Christmas episode. And it'll be a good time. Just put wheel in your patron name. Good shit. Look, man, I'm a mess. I can't function. Mine act the wheel. Need Gunnar Anime Rec so I can jork my hog while enjoying the Wheel of Time audiobooks. Jesus fucking Christ. The wheel has spoken. The Snow Bros have a new saltine side piece, Dylan. Already. The wheels are they are here. The wheels are loud and proud, baby. Wheel Remington talk about the time God makes Hosea marry a hoe. Maybe when Shaun shows up. But we can't have Bible out of context or religion out of context, even in little bits without Shaun. Otherwise, who am I teaching? You guys? Come on. You're all good Christians. We're a good Christian podcast. You're all extremely faithful and knowledgeable about the Bible. So I wouldn't be teaching you guys anything. I need to teach Shaun. Gandalf wants to take Shaun's hobbits to Isengard. Wink, wink. When will Rem do an Xmas party quirks? Probably around Christmas time. Welcome to Sword Art Remington. Shaun blocked my cock. Hope you didn't forget about your vampire past. Princess Alice was kidnapped again. Wheel Darius. Ryan Moody. Week 25 of using my Patreon name to request code geese. Now here's the thing, all right? Here's the thing. I know. I'm not going to say this in front of Shaun. And he's corrected me before. I'm going to keep saying it that way, all right? Because that's the way it ought to be said. These are the types of conversations we can have when Shaun's not here, all right? I can break kayfabe a little. If I break kayfabe when Shaun is here, he threatens me and he attacks me and he gets violent, and it's just a lot. But he's not here, so we can just be honest. Boring Sirens, Parsi. That time I reincarnated as podcast host, forced to weeb. Remington, what was your original sin? I'm mostly alive. That follow up, it works as an answer. I'm Red Pill Dickmaster, Bunny Pumper, Glizzy Glinker, Super Soaker, Pope Groper, Child Kicker, Rollins, Swaraj Verdi, Jake Dent, Wheel of Weeby Truth, Wolfire 56, Lidnerd 98, Lucky Stars, the King of Moe. Really, all of that applies to me, not just Shaun. Fucking God. Rem, would you rather be Chinese or a woman? I guess I would rather be a woman, just because I think that being Chinese would be a more radical departure for me. And so just for like acclimating to my new life, I think being a woman would be easier for me. So there you go. An honest answer. I can't believe I've made an account for this. West Cade, Bento Kato, Christmas Breaking Wheel Time. Replaying the entire Anime Out of Context playlist for a third time, it really helps me sleep. The wheel brought me back for the 12 days of Christmas, and then emoji signifying that Shaun is horny for Judy, which once again, he is. That's why he's gone. He's gonna come back. Not next week, because next week, of course, is the April Fool's episode. We recorded that fucking ages ago. But the week after that, he's gonna come back and he's gonna be like, oh, sorry for being sick. Don't believe his lies. Don't believe his lies. We all know the truth. All right. We all know he was top of Judy's zoo too. I'm trying to do a this is a mess. This is a mess. I can't be allowed on my own. All right. Because I just want to take the Patreon reads and I just want to like divert and banter and do nonsense. But it's like, no, just read the fucking names, dumbass. Just read the fucking names. Remington is right. Shaun gooning in the theater to Zootopia 2. This guy gets it. 2 hours of Rem and Trans Shaun making out ASMR for episode 400. Beach episode and harem supported, right, Shaun? A moe piece of trash. Seraphim the Shark plushie. Aisha Gudgy. Blarf. Macaroni and Cheesehaw. Danielle Riot. The Danish Viking will conquer the world with Zoro as my navigator. Shaun ruined my happy sugar life when he lied about not getting wheelie horny during the 5th day of April Fool's this year. He did. The 5th day, man, he got so horny. You'll be able to tell. You'll be able to tell. Super Zoo, Erica McCorkle, Sean Rollins, Link Jokerl, Shaun wants to give Spoon Man a thank and yank. Rem uses the drums of liberation free all weeps from bad anime. I want a Marvel movie starring Shaun as Spider-Man and Remington as Big Wheel. Is Big Wheel an actual character? Or is that just a way to get Wheel in there? Or is there a character that's like Big something, but you just replaced it with Wheel for the relevant? Let's see. Marvel Big Wheel. Or am I just like a Big Wheel? Okay, no, Big Wheel is a character. You'll be astonished to hear. He is just a big wheel. He kind of reminds me of, if you guys ever played Twisted Metal, there's the guy, I Googled Twisted Metal wheel guy and it came up Axel, where he's just a guy T-posing into his arms are locked in to 2 giant wheels. And that was like my main when I was too young. Because I was just like, look, he's got the biggest wheels. How could anybody stop him? How could anybody stop this guy? Similar to why I chose Shahudun in Dynasty Warriors. Because I was like, he's got the biggest sword. It's like, look, all of you guys, they got little wimpy-ass swords. They got wimpy-ass wheels. I got the biggest. And in little kid Remington's mind, biggest was best. And it was as simple as that. My Digimon is Mpreg Red Pilled Rollins. Daddy Rem, tell my bedtime story about Shaun's nut. Turban, the capybara loves Gojo's eyes. Fuck you, Rem. Fuck you, capybara, you're wrong. His eyes are so bad. His eyes are so bad. I look, I love you, but also, come on now. Come on now. I don't know, I couldn't think of something clever about wheels, but I still wanted to help the charity. Hell yeah. Stacy's mom, Amazing Muffin. Watching Requiem for Spoon Man at 0.5 speed. Huvo kneels before the holy wheel. King Richrock. Pro tips out of context is run out of things most will come back soon. Rhiannon Williams. Titan CNH. The Susanator. Brockard for Geodudes. This too is loss. Jan Reyneko. Anime. Miska is putting mag wheels on her rollerblades to fulfill the prophecy, says Miska. She insists she's not a Genebia. Fern the Fern. Jeep E Bottom, aka Bear Trap. You've heard of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. What of Rudolph the Cuckold Reindeer? P.S. Wheels. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. Red Pill Rollins is wheelie covered in the goat sauce. Hoomst, Cheese Monkey, Jax, Fenrir, Foxwolf, Professor Fox, Jam Hands, Shaun so Republican he crashes Grinder, Buckshin, Farmer Weeb wants Jesus to take the wheel, Ross Palmer, riding on the struggle bus, Cassidy, and now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier, where, let's see if there's enough Kamen Rider bullshit. Kamen Rider characters, maybe? All right, you'll get your own Kamen Rider. All right, Melnick Suzuki, congratulations, you get Kamen Rider. Domini Trigun, it will red pill even red, you get Kamen Rider V3. Titaro saw Shaun wearing a really explicit Judy cosplay, you get Kamen Rider X. Umbrasite, you get Kamen Rider Amazon. Rem still needs to watch Bandori's Maigo and Ave Mujica or else Kasumi will keep singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. You get Kamen Rider Stronger. That Mouse Girl, you get Kamen Rider Sky Rider. These are just the series, but I don't know, just whatever fucking rider is in them, right? You get the whole fucking series. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know. I don't know what any of us are doing here, all right? Draco Operator number 42. You get Kamen Rider Super 1. Sammy K is here to remind you that you just lost the game. You get Kamen Rider ZX. And you get a Volvo truck wheel as a Christmas present. You get Kamen Rider Black. Rose Cop, you get Kamen Rider Black RX. Real creative names here. Carver 271, you get Shin Kamen Rider Prologue. Spoon Manly Aristocrat is here for Party Quirks. You get Kamen Rider ZO. Power Cell notices that Witty Willy whipped the whirling wheel while the whistling wind whipped wildly. You got Kamen Rider J. Monogatari is everything you ever said you wanted in anime. This week has experimental visuals. You're going to get Kamen Rider Kuga. The Great Buttball of Despair misses you. You're going to get Kamen Rider Agito? One of those is accurate. Nurikatsa hashtag SONR soaking one nut Rollins. You're gonna get Kamen Rider Ryuki. Mike, you get Kamen Rider 555. Beethoven 1201, you get Kamen Rider Blade. Wheel Tums, you're gonna get Kamen Rider Hibiki. Silent Secondary, you're gonna get Kamen Rider the First. Miguel Deleon, Kamen Rider Kabuto. And Allfather only just realized on the 2nd that 12 Days drops next week, and he's heckin' excited. You should be. You fucking should be, all right? I'm gonna love with you. All right, do you guys want to see it? This isn't great for marketing. I think episode 1 of the 12 Days might be one of the, I guess not the worst, but it's like one of the lesser episodes of like 12 Days total. It does ramp the fuck up after that, right? Look, I get hyped for next week. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad episode. Just compared to some shit that happens later on in the 12 Days. It doesn't start with the bang that it perhaps ought to, and I'm going to say it's not my fault, and you guys will understand why. Anyway, you're going to get Kamen Rider Kiva or some shit. Now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where I, as Joey Wheeler, will randomize a genre, and I will randomize a food, and I will tell you, and I'll create a brief narrative about how that food fits into that genre, and that is your story, all right? You get to make that story. You get to create that. All right, we start with follow animated context on Blue Sky, tagging Gart and Trash Taste on the previous episode to get him on the pod. Wheel. I don't know if that's gonna work, if I'm being honest, but you are free to try so long as you don't actually harass them. All right, your genre is gonna be a comedy, a silly comedy, and your food is gonna be an apple, a very silly apple. I'm in love with you. Got fucked. There's so many. One sec, let's get better food at least. Doesn't help that the genre. All right, you get a bagel. I don't know if this randomizer is great. All right, you get a bagel, and it's a comedy. I'm not just gonna do American Pie with it, Yugs. We're gonna do something else with this bagel. One sec, I'm just looking up best comedies of all time for some inspiration. Just not a lot fucking here. Comedy isn't specific enough, because comedy you'd be making fun of other shit. No, give me a different genre, right? Comedy doesn't work. Eliminate that one. It'll be a bagel. It's gonna be a bagel, Yugs. All right, crime heist. Here we go. All right. This bagel, it's gonna be a bread themed heist. All right, where they gotta get all the dough, baby. All right, so they're gonna be stealing. They are bread and they're stealing bread. Which now that makes it sound like less of a heist and more of a slave revolt. I don't know what it. Look, all right, you just got fucked up. I'm sorry. Moving on. Next, we got humanoid monsters are like a tasting party, but for fucking spin the wheel, bitch. And this time I am actually spinning the wheel. Also, should I say that? God, you guys are gonna be so fucking hyped for the 12 days. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. You like spinning a wheel? Oh, baby, you are gonna enjoy the 12 days. There's at least one wheel. Also, while I've been talking, I have spun the genre wheel 3 times, and each time it's landed on crime/heist. All right, horror. All right, you get a horror all about fried shrimp. I feel like it's pretty easy. First of all, fried shrimp already kind of horrific. If it's from the perspective of fried shrimp, or really, we could just make a horror of fried shrimp. They're sort of bug-like, right? They're creepy and they're crawly yugs. So I feel like I'm imagining sort of like scary stories to tell in the dark, you know, that one with the spider. But instead of spiders being in you, there's so much shrimp in you. They start crawling out of your stomach. You eat a bunch of shrimp, then they start crawling out of your stomach, and it's fucked. And out of both ends, it's a fucking nightmare. Oh god, that one is rough. All right, let's. Last but not least, we got play Wheel of Fortune for Remington, but instead of wheel, it's chalking, and instead of fortune, it's penis. Truly. All right, this one we got sci-fi, and it's gonna be tater tots. Oh, that could be kind of cute. Just a bunch of tater tots, all of them in little gear, right? Maybe you got like an elder who's just a whole ass potato or some shit, right? Yeah, different fries. They're just exploring the galactic wilds, baby. Yeah, that can work. Thank you all for this episode's fucking bad. The tragic thing, Dylan has to edit this while dying. He has to. He still has to suffer. He doesn't, unfortunately, get a choice. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to reach out for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can send an email over on to animeoutofcontext@gmail.com. Thank you all. And as always, don't fuck your sister. Do 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 do.